We have completed our technical and commercial evaluation of the Browse LNG development near James Price Point, and we've determined that the development concept does not meet Woodside's commercial requirements for a positive investment decision. I recognise that many people, both within and outside our organisation, will be disappointed by our decision not to proceed with the current development. It was a tough decision, and I can assure you it was not taken lightly. We completed a comprehensive tender evaluation for both the upstream and downstream scopes of work, which showed that the development would not deliver the required commercial returns to support a positive final investment decision by Woodside. This decision marks the culmination of more than 4 years of high-quality work from concept select and throughout the basis of design and front-end engineering and design phases. About 4.5 million work hours have been invested in technical, environmental and commercial studies and surveys. And it's important that I acknowledge and thank the communities in the West Kimberley, the Australian and Western Australian governments and the Shire of Broome for their support throughout the evaluation of the development. From here, we'll immediately engage with the Browse joint venture to recommend evaluation of other development concepts, which could include floating technologies, a pipeline to existing facilities in the Pilbara, or a smaller onshore option at the proposed Browse LNG precinct near James Price Point. We'll be proposing a work program and budget to the joint venture for the remaining 20 months of the retention leases, with a commitment to the timely development of the Browse resources. Thank you. I'll now take questions.
Peter, I'll go. Can you give us a sense of the costs? You've done all that work, so what was the project you're doing?
Yeah, we typically, and we haven't put any costs out there in the marketplace. We keep that within the joint venture. What I can tell you, though, is that Browse was subject to the same cost pressures that you're seeing in similar projects around Australia at this point in time.
So I know you won't give us a specific number, but can you say whether they were looking at doubling or?
No, I won't comment on where the actual number went. I think the important thing here is, as I said, we were subject to the same cost pressures as others have been seeing. Equally, though, this was about having the courage to make a decision based on the commercial aspects of the project and those aspects alone.
When did Woodside first consult with the Premier that it probably wasn't going to go ahead?
We advised the Premier's office last night after our board had finalised its decision on Browse. So the Premier's office was notified last night.
Peter, can you give some colour around the decision making? It all seems to have been a bit rushed from you, not anticipated.
No, I don't think it was rushed at all, Peter. As you know, we've been considering this for a long period of time. We in fact requested an extension from the federal government to the retention lease conditions. We did that last year with a view that we needed to give ourselves enough time to make the decision. As we finalised our cost and schedule estimates earlier this year, we then put that back to each of the joint venture partners. Where Woodside got to was that we felt it was best to make a quick decision once we had looked at those numbers and been able to make a commercial determination. There was no value at all in keeping the decision at bay, so to speak, so we felt it was best to bring forward a quick decision.
Two-part question. Just the bids for the upstream and downstream, they just moved out 8 months ago. So first of all, why did it take so long to make the decision? And second, will the contractors involve decision compensation for their time and costs?
Well, let me answer the second question first. The contractors have been compensated all along, so they're being paid for the work that they're doing. Similarly, the native title owners are being compensated for the commitments that we've made under the native title agreement. With respect to the decision process itself, you recall about 8 months ago we actually asked for an extension. The reason for that is we needed to do a very rigorous peer cost and schedule review. We also needed to get some external companies to come in who do this for a business. And we've had 3 of them come in. That takes just a heck of a lot of time. And so the last few months have actually been really working on cost and schedule assurance. I can tell you that the feedback from those reviews are that the quality of the cost and schedule work that was done by the Browse team is absolutely world class. absolutely. And for some people, it's the best they've seen. As a CEO, that's all I can ask the team to do, is to help me make an informed decision that I make a recommendation to the board on. So I've really got to commend the Browse team and the contractors involved there for the quality of the work that they've done.
What do you make of the Premier's comments this morning that if the project does go offshore, then it'll be a tragedy and a missed opportunity?
I really haven't caught up with the Premier's comments this morning. What I would say, though, is Woodside's got a commitment to ensuring technology is developed in Australia, and you'll see that in any development that we bring forward to the joint venture, there's a real focus on maintaining technology in Australia and taking advantage of this window of opportunity we have over the next few years to ensure that Australia really becomes a centre for technology development, and particularly in LNG.
But that won't deliver the same promised benefits to the Kimberley River. What's your view about that? Are you disappointed that those promised benefits won't be delivered?
Well, there's two parts to the benefits package. There's a native title agreement, and I'm disappointed for the native title groups that were part of that agreement. Having said that, there's already been significant benefit to the communities up there, not only through direct employment, but also through the benefits package that's been delivered, and that's many millions of dollars even to this point in time. We'll continue to work with those communities up there. So, in fact, you'll find that Woodside will maintain our office in Broome. We think that's an important, very important thing for us, because we do believe that Browse will get developed. Whether it's a James Price Point option or something else, we believe we need to maintain a presence in Broome. So we're disappointed for those groups, but equally, out of disappointment there'll be opportunity, and so tomorrow, maybe we'll have opportunity that we can't see today.
You've obviously been studying a lot of options for a while now. Can you just give us a sense of how far along those studies are?
Well, we've been looking at, as you would expect, we've been looking at other options now for a period of time. Those options aren't anywhere near as mature as James Price Point, understanding that, as I mentioned, we've spent over more than 4.5 million hours on getting the James Price Point option to where we are today. Having said that, some of those options do offer the potential for an early development of Browse. We've already come out and said that things like floating technology, for example, is a technology that Woodside supports and would continue to support. Whether that's appropriate for a Browse development will need to be determined by the joint venture over time. Equally, we need to look at the other options of Browse to Burrup, and is there a smaller option available for James Price Point?
What's Woodside's preference at this stage?
Well, we don't have a preference at this stage, and we're not going to debate it in the public either. We need to get it within the joint venture and put a proposal. So as operator, we need to be able to get into the joint venture and say, this is what we think. We've worked James Price Point really hard up to this point, and it's delivered this particular outcome. All right, now here are the options, and we'll be working with the joint venture over the next few weeks to map out a plan forward. As soon as we've got agreement within the joint venture, then, as you know, we need to go back to the joint authority. We need to go to the federal government and ask for changes in conditions on our retention lease out through the remaining period of that retention lease.